Today, in this video, we discuss about this is how to get rich in 2023. Let's start the video. Bear markets are the place where people make their money, right? I mean, this is where it's not when you're buying at 65 or 69,000 on Bitcoin, where your risk reward is horrendous. It's when the market is decimated and you're getting an asset that has major future value at such discounted levels. So, always remember that bear markets, if you know how to trade them, it's better than anything in the world in terms of generating money. Gareth Soloway was one of the only traders that not only called the top of the crypto market in Q4 of 2021, but he has also been extremely accurate on the move downwards as crypto has fallen. Now he has made his newest contrarian prediction that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the crypto market has not yet bottomed like so many others believe it already has. But because of how the stock market reacted to the Lehman Brothers collapse in 2008, the crypto market will behave similarly, not going on to bottom until 5 to 6 months after the major blow-up. Soloway argues that history doesn't repeat but it rhymes, believing that crypto will behave the exact same way. However, make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Soloway explains why, if investors are emotionally stable and rational enough to sustain through the bear market, they are the best opportunities to build wealth you will ever get. Given also only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed, if you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. But one of the things Bitcoin analysis I'm keeping an eye on is that you can clearly see that the current price of Bitcoin is still below that June low right there of support. So we know that this is a drop. So this is technically a bearish inside bar pattern, bearish flaggish in spirit of a bear flag. And it hasn't even been able to regain the price point from June. So for me, that's a major issue short-term for Bitcoin. I still think we could go up and touch that line, but that'll be a level that I'm watching closely. Overall, I continue to be in the camp where this area down here, which I think is right around your 14,000, 13 to 14 area, this is going to be a big level as well. And I do think eventually we retest that level on the downside. Now for me, I kind of took it a step further when I was analyzing where Bitcoin could bottom. I've been doing a lot of research because everyone wants to know where could Bitcoin bottom. And obviously, please keep in mind that this is just an opinion based on the charting in history. But for me, I basically took FTX's fiasco and I likened it to the Lehman Brothers collapse in the stock market. And this is where my stock education kind of comes in, where I can bring these things out that I went through as a trader and kind of use them. And so, when Lehman Brothers collapsed, it was a bank. They took on too much leverage, they did some stuff they shouldn't have, and eventually they failed. From that point, the stock market dropped 45% more till the March low of 2009, and it took about 5 to 6 months. So if FTX is kind of that scenario for the crypto markets, it puts the bottom on Bitcoin somewhere in the, I would say, the May to June period, right? That 5-6 months out from now period. And it probably puts us right around at $10,000 to $9,000 range. The reason I like 10,000 in terms of a breakpoint and thinking that we could break that on Bitcoin is simply that that's going to be where max pain is probably initiated from most crypto investors. So we know psychologically, investors probably will put stops at 10,000. We know that psychologically that's going to be like, oh my goodness, when if Bitcoin ever breaks 10,000, it's going to be a fiasco. Everyone's going to freak out about it, which oftentimes can be the marker of a low in a chart or in an asset. I'm pretty sure there's tons of market cycle liquidation sitting there too, yeah? Exactly, and that's quite interesting because, I was looking at it that, emotionally as well. I don't know if you believe the market cycle, but just the simple market cycle. I believe we're still in the anger phase. I still believe depression comes, and what it basically means here is temporary, maybe push up in the market. I do have a slight indication where maybe we may have a slight push up, for a month or two, but then we do bleed down possibly that 10.9K. The emotionally wise that makes sense. Do you feel the market is that you spoke about max pain? Do you think the market still has more damage to be done emotionally to the people before we can just start to make its way up? Okay, there's no doubt that you haven't reached out and the reason you can tell that is because you still see people posting on Twitter and stuff like that. Oh, the low is in, here we go. And every 100 uptick in Bitcoin, it seems like that's kind of the thing that people are saying. And the key to bottoms is when people are just like, you don't, it's like crickets, right? Everyone's just depressed. No one's saying anything positive. You even get people saying that Bitcoin will not be here in a year or two. I mean, that's really the marker. And by the way, that's again the psychological side that all of us that are education fiends for crypto or anything, you have to be ready to withstand. You go back to your thesis and you say, is my thesis still valid even when I'm saying this? Because it's going to make people even like myself question myself, and you have to be strong enough to just say, no, this is the thesis. This is what happens in bear markets. Let's withstand it and let's look for that reversal. Yeah, I was going to say, bear markets are the place where people make their money, right? I mean, this is where it's not when you're buying at 65 or 69,000 on Bitcoin, where your risk reward is horrendous. It's when the market is decimated and you're getting an asset that has major future value at such discounted levels. So, I mean, always remember that bear markets, if you know how to trade them, it's better than anything in the world in terms of generating money. I was just going to add, don't overallocate. One more thing too is that just keep in mind that one of the keys to withstanding the emotional pressure of a bear market is to make sure not to overallocate funds. So the biggest thing is when you put a small amount of money into an asset, and let's say you start buying a little Bitcoin, you dabble into it a little bit, you have to remember that if you put too much money in when that asset goes against you, you're going to react emotionally because you're uncomfortable having invested so much. So it's very important to kind of decide ahead of time for each trade what's your comfort level. When if you have a full position of Bitcoin, are you going to be comfortable if it goes to 9,000? Because again, the market will figure out in just some amazing way it does this. It knows how to attack you if you overallocate funds, and it will make you do the wrong thing at the wrong time. No, you're 100% right. And again, this is where the risk-reward factors in, right? So, let's say Bitcoin goes to $9,000. Your reward here is about $8,000, versus if it starts squeezing up, you could lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 000. So I think that again, this is a great example where people are trying to chase and chasing in trading. Chasing is the worst thing you can do, and I always like to use the analogy of for some reason, investors, they're willing to pay higher prices, or in the case of shorting, pay lower prices. But when we go to the mall to buy some jeans or a pair of shoes, we don't go to the mall and, we see it on sale at $100 one week, and then the next week it's $500 for that same pair of jeans. We don't go, oh my God, you say no, let me wait for this thing, So that's the same thought process you have to translate what we do at the shopping centers and the stores into your trading. It should be the same mindset. You're looking for deals, you're looking for sales. So let me know in the comments anyway, guys. Hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.